Sizes and shapes depending on how you place your foot and your vegetable. I'm a master of this hand. So I'm going to use the same cone number 1 to shred off these hard parts without throwing any away. Now let's take a look. Beautiful. Okay. So I'm going to crack my eggs. And when you're cracking your eggs and mistakenly the shell, and then I'm going to be adding some sea salt. Yeah. I'm going to be adding just a half teaspoon of sea salt. Or rather 1 touch of sea salt. And then I'm going to mix it. Beautiful. So the pipe work, the pipe work, beautiful, amazing. shawarma I'm going to be making today, just 1/3, just like a pinch, 1/3 of my teaspoon. MSG and no oil, no grease at all. And also so I'm going to be adding this inside my blender with the water. You don't have to trash the water. You use vinegar, use rice vinegar or any vinegar of your choice, or apple vinegar, I think. So I'm just gonna add like this, almost like a teaspoon plus of garlic. All know that length and the seed, and also the cashew nut. Cashew nut a little water because my cashew nut cream is very thick. Okay, my shawarma cream inside this bowl. Wow, it's very hard. It's bitter. It's hard to it's hard to chew. It's anti-clockwise, and you can see I'm using it as manual. Okay, so I think slicing the carrot is very, very good for us. Help to use our immune system. Helps in hydration. Every time you are dehydrated, just need your people work. Okay. 1 bowl of onions, boil and at the same time fry. Wow. So this is almost boiled already. Wow. Look at the amount of water that came out of the chicken. So this is chicken stock. So when you want to make, right? Okay, so I'm going to be adding this inside, and then I'll be adding it inside the shawarma filling. Then when I finish slicing, you can then check on our end of our cookware, maybe from the temple to the garden, from the remember the shawarma that I'm making today, no drop of oil. I'm going to be mixing all this together. Wow. Holla. Look. Okay. Adding up the chicken, the goats and fried chicken. And here I have I added cabbage. I'll be introducing the recipes for the chin chin. For our chin chin this morning, I'll be using bread flour.
Okay, we're using bread flour for our chin
chin. I'll be using honey.
Honey, wow.
White sugar. I'll be using honey. Okay. Then I'll be using cinnamon. In case if you don't have your nutmeg,
okay.
Use cinnamon. So I'll be using cinnamon.
Oh, fantastic.
I'll be using sea salt for taste.
Okay.
Then I'll be using milk.
Oh, fantastic.
I'll be using milk for our chin chin. So that is all for our chin chin this morning. And this chin chin, I'm going to bake the chin chin in our wonderful Salad Master healthy cooking system called the electric skillet. That is the bad boy. Gives you about 5 cups of dates.
Okay, about 5 cups of that.
Dates. Yes, 5 cups of the measuring cup. Okay, I've already mentioned this already.
So you can see the measuring cup, So all you need to do is to try and make sure you get these cups for measuring to get the standard, depending on the quantity you're making.
And when you're measuring the flour, you have to be putting the flour this way. not to press
So
down.
you don't allow the flour to sit because you get more quantity. Yeah, so you just measure like that.
Measure this way.
So we're using about 5 cups.
Yeah, 5 cups.
Okay.
And it depends on the quantity you are making. It depends on the quantity you are making.
So this is 5 cups here.
Yeah, 5 cups. These measuring cups.
Yeah. So we have about 5 cups here.
So because you can use cinnamon if you don't have nutmeg. So I'll be using a little cinnamon because cinnamon has a very strong aroma. Okay. You can see just a little cinnamon.
So that quantity of cinnamon now is not even up to...
it's not, it's just like a pinch.
A pinch of cinnamon. A pinch of cinnamon for 5 cups. Mind you, a pinch of cinnamon for 5 cups of your bread flour. So it could be bread flour, it could be almond flour if you are trying to avoid the normal white flour because of gluten. Okay? And by the way, cinnamon actually helps to stabilize the blood sugar. So if you're diabetic and you're scared, cinnamon will actually help to regulate your blood sugar.
So for sea salt that I'm using this morning, you use the last of the measuring spoon, the smallest.
Okay, so you need to get it hasn't gone through any form of process at all. It's all in its natural state. But the table salt has gone through different kind of process and has been fortified. So sea salt is very healthy.
So for the honey, for the 5 cups of bread flour, you need 2 spoons. I don't want the chin chin to be too sweet. Using teaspoon. Using a tablespoon.
A tablespoon.
2 tablespoons.
Okay, so for that 5 cups,
yes,
you get to use 2 tablespoons of honey. So normally you would rather probably use white sugar or granulated sugar, and because of health issues people are trying to avoid, but we're going to use honey. Now the thing about honey is this: honey is actually the glycemic index of honey is medium glycemic index, so in a way it still has a way to spike up your blood sugar level. But why we prefer to choose honey to the normal white sugar is because honey has so much more nutritional benefits. There are lots of antioxidants inside honey, and there are lots of other medicinal properties. It could actually help to stabilize your blood sugar, and you're not your blood sugar now, your blood pressure. So that's why we prefer to use honey rather than your normal granulated sugar. So we recommend you use honey, and we're using 2 tablespoons of honey for about 5 cups of flour. Now, people are meticulous about the use of flour because of some kind of health issue or because they could have gluten. And that's the reason why they are staying away from the normal white flour. So you can still enjoy your chin chin with bread flour like you just did, and almond flour and the likes.
So using the baking powder,
okay.
I'm using baking powder, I'm using this spoon.
That's the last.
The second to the last,
okay.
The smallest one.
So guys, all you need to do is get your measuring cups and your measuring spoons.
Put it on a level like this. When you put it, you just use your hand
to level up.
To level up this way.
Exactly, to level up. So that's the baking soda.
Yeah, the baking soda. That is baking powder.
Baking powder. So we have all our dry ingredients together.
So I'll be using milk. Be adding milk.
Okay, so we'll be adding milk. Now, the idea is to use healthy recipes, healthy alternative recipes. Okay, so you don't need to use your full cream milk from animal base. You can use your plant-based milk as well. Now, this chin chin is very healthy. Even someone with cholesterol can still enjoy this chin chin. Because you can use your coconut milk, it's plant-based. You could choose to use your almond milk, and also you could choose to use your tiger nut milk. Now, all these are healthy alternative recipes. So what's the next thing?
So the next thing is that I'm going to mix the dough.
Okay, we have to.
I'm going to mix the dough. I don't want it to be too sticky, and I don't want it to be too soft or too strong. Okay. So when you notice that it's too hard in your hand, you have to add a little water.
So when it's too hard, you add water, just little.
Little water, then continue
So the idea is to knead all of this together. Remember, we have our bread flour. You could choose not to use the white flour, okay? Because the white flour might not be as healthy, and then you might want to stay away from the regular white flour. And that's why we have chosen to use the bread flour. And you could also choose to use your almond flour, which is very healthy. And then you could also choose to use your bread flour, the better substitute. I think you get what I'm trying to say. And then your milk again is plant-based. You could choose to use your coconut milk, your almond milk, or tiger nut milk. And then we have cinnamon in there, about just a pinch of cinnamon. And then we also have sea salt. So this is actually the reason why this is way more healthy than the regular chin chin. Coupled with the fact that we're not going to fry this in oil. Wow, this is really looking nice. Now the good thing about this, Jessica, is that you have carefully chosen to use better substitutes. Exactly. So the issue with people and the choice of food is because of the health issues they have. So we have the bread flour there.
No, this is a bread flour. This is a
corn flour. Oh wow, fantastic. So we're actually using the corn flour.
Yes, corn flour, because I don't want this thing to be sticking on the chopping board.
Okay. So viewers, the reason why we have chosen to use the corn flour on the palette is so that it doesn't stick. It doesn't stick on the surface.
It's not sticking on my hands.
Exactly. So that's the reason why you just spread your corn flour.
And I'm not using a board, a rolling board. I'm going to use my hand.
Okay. Is there a reason why we have chosen not to use a rolling board?
The rolling board is because I don't want it to be too flat. You know, I'm baking, I'm not frying. When you are frying, you can use that rolling board or rolling pin. Yeah, it is a rolling pin to just flatten it. But because I'm baking, you know, it's different from baking and frying. I'm not going to fry this in the oil.
Wow, so we have the cutter.
Yeah, so I'm using the cutter.
So viewers, these are the things you need for your chin chin to make your healthy chin chin. So we use the cutter to just cut them in the shapes and sizes.
Depending on the shapes, you can cut them long, short, round, depending on the size you want, the shapes you want.
Wow, this is fantastic. This is fantastic. Guys, the idea behind this is to make sure that you are able to eat what you love to eat the most, but in a very healthy way. And that's why Chef Jessica had taken her time to carefully choosing the better alternative, way more healthy ingredients to do this chin chin. So we have our cutting our chin chin. And the good thing about this particular method or this particular style we have carefully chosen to bake our chin chin is because we have eliminated oil completely from this. No single drop of oil. Before now, I would think that without oil you can't get your chin chin, and that's the reason why people that have health issues and health challenge are steering away from eating chin chin. Someone with high cholesterol will say, I don't want to eat chin chin because it's going to increase my cholesterol. That's because of the amount of oil in the chin chin. Someone with blood pressure will say, I don't want to eat chin chin because of the amount of oil. So that's why they refuse to eat chin chin. But this time around, guys, we have carefully chosen better, way more healthy alternative recipes and ingredients. And also we have chosen not to fry that bad boy.
Baking paper in there, so I'll be heating this up.
Okay, so that's the, at what temperature are we going to be
I'm
using?
going to put it at 230.
Wow.
Just for 3 minutes to preheat. Just 3 minutes.
So we have the cord from the bad boy,
yes,
and we are preheating at 230 degrees.
230.
Fantastic. So for how long do we preheat?
Just for 3 minutes, not 2 to 3 minutes then it's ready. So
About
this
2 to
is
3
it.
minutes.
So I'm going to be baking this chin chin inside the electric skillet. I'm not going to be frying with oil. I'm going to be baking this, and it's going to come out crunchy and sweet, yummy.
Interesting. I'm excited. I really can't wait to have a feel of this. And we have our toner. Is that what you're using?
Yes, I'm using the toner, the Salad Master toner.
Wow, interesting. Wow. So we have our chin chin. Instead of going straight into the oil,
so you can see that I use the corn flour to dust the chin chin so that it doesn't stick together, to be separated once we start baking.
Okay. So now the corn flour is actually doing a whole lot of job.
So now I'm going to remove the pot again and reduce the heat. I'm going to reduce it to 130.
Okay, so we are using 130
to bake the chin chin. Then I'm going to totally cover because I'm baking and not frying. When I'm frying, I try to let this way, but because I'm baking, I'm going to cover them totally.
Oh wow, fantastic! I can feel that. Wow, just that this is actually coming through very nice, very nice. I love this. So we allow that to continue baking.
Allow that to continue baking.
Wow. Kitchen is ready. But what we're trying to do is to increase the electric skillet to golden brown. We're trying to increase that to golden brown. So we're increasing it from 130
to 150. So golden brown.
Excited about the Greek yogurt chocolate cake already, you know.
So quickly, I have to introduce all the whole recipes. I'm going to introduce them.
Okay.
The recipe for the first, I'm going to start with the recipes for the Greek yogurt chocolate cake. I have my almond flour. This is not normal bread flour. This is
almond flour.
Yeah, almond flour. We'll be using almond flour for the Greek yogurt chocolate cake. Then I will be using this cocoa. It's natural. It's cocoa.
Fantastic.
No sweetening at all. It's not sweetening at all.
Okay.
Cocoa. Then I'll be using this Greek yogurt, unsweetened.
Okay.
Yeah,
unsweetened Greek yogurt.
Greek yogurt. That is what we'll be using. Then I'll be using vanilla for the flavor. Then I'll also be using coconut flakes.
Okay, we have our coconut flakes there.
Wow. And also got the coconut milk from here.
Oh, wow. So we are going all plant-y.
We are all going all plant-based. Then I'll be using a black coffee. For the warm black coffee, it's too warm.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah. Then I'll be using honey instead of sugar. So I'll be substituting honey instead of sugar.
Ooh,
yeah, so I'll be using natural honey. I'll be using cinnamon.
Cinnamon.
Yeah, I'll be using cinnamon.
Nice.
Then I'll be using baking powder and bicarbonate of soda.
Okay, interesting.
Then I'll be using lemon zest.
Oh, the zest of the lemon.
The zest of the lemon for the cake. Then I'll be using eggs.
Okay.
Then I'll be using sea salt.
Oh, sea salt. Wow.
I'll be using sea salt.
Okay, that's great.
And also be using granules.
Oh, you're going to be using granules as well.
For the toppings, yes.
Oh, for the toppings and the cake. Wow, interesting.
Cake. So these are all the recipes for the Greek yogurt chocolate cake. So now I have to start with I want to start with the eggs first, breaking up the eggs first. I'll be using 3 eggs.
Okay, so in terms of quantity,
yes.
Okay.
This is the salad bowl I'm using this morning to make the.
Wow, guys, guess what? Our salad bowl is here. It's double plated bowl. It's super amazing from Salad Master.
I'll be adding. Sorry. So the next one I'll be adding is the coconut milk.
Okay.
Coconut milk, and you have to warm it.
Okay, so you warm your coconut milk. So we have about a glass cup of coconut.
So the next one I'll be using, is the black coffee, warm, not cold, warm coffee.
Okay.
Very strong. This is
very strong. You know, it gives you that coffee taste or that coffee flavor.
That's indeed. Okay, the next one I'll be adding now is the vanilla. A tablespoon of vanilla.
Okay, so we have a tablespoon of vanilla. Wow. So it gives that vanilla flavor.
Okay, so the next one I'll be adding now is our natural honey. See my bee.
Natural honey. Wow, this is so natural that you could even see the bee inside. Exactly. So the reason why I'm sure Chef Jessica has chosen to use honey instead of sugar is because we're trying as much as possible to be conscious of people that have issues with their blood sugar.
So the next one I'll be adding is the Greek yogurt.
So we have our Greek yogurt, guys.
It's not sweetened.
Unsweetened Greek yogurt. Now the good thing about this Greek yogurt is that the Greek yogurt is high in lots of minerals, it's high in protein.
So you can see that I've mixed all the wet ingredients all together. You have to mix the wet ingredient first.
Okay.
Then you now mix the dry ingredient, then combine the both together. So I'm going to be mixing this with the egg whisker.
And for people that have celiac disease, autoimmune disease, some kind of inflammation, you might not want to consume much of white flour because it causes inflammation on the lining of the small intestine. But this time around, we choose to use the almond flour, which is way more healthy. And I see you're adding something.
Yeah, adding the cocoa.
Yes, a lot of cocoa, which is good.
Chocolate. Yeah.
And it's very powerful.
It's very powerful. Unsweetened. This is a natural.
So just about half a cup.
Yeah, half a cup. It depends.
It's much dough, but half a cup, it's okay, guys. Okay. Cocoa is actually very powerful. It's high in lots of antioxidants. So guys, can you see our mixture, our dry ingredients, the almond flour with the natural cocoa.
So the next one I'll be adding is the cinnamon.
Okay.
I love cinnamon in my cake.
Okay, so we're going to be adding cinnamon. What quantity of cinnamon are we adding?
Half a teaspoon, because it has a very strong aroma.
Exactly.
So the next one I'll be adding is a teaspoon of baking powder.
Okay.
Always make it leveled.
A teaspoon leveled. Can you see that? Of our baking powder.
So I'll also be adding the bicarbonate of soda, the same quantity with baking powder.
So,
okay, the next
so we're adding our sea salt. Wow, fantastic.
Sea salt, just like a pinch. You can see the smallest.
Very tiny.
Spoon, very tiny.
Wow, that's interesting. So what are we doing now, Chef?
So I'm going to be pouring all these dry ingredients, mixing them with the wet ingredients just gradually.
Okay, so we're trying to mix the wet ingredients and the dry ingredients together just gradually. And then we whisk and whisk and whisk and whisk
until you get this texture. So this is the texture that I want. You know, we as a chef, when you're cooking, you have to use your eyes, your nose, and your... So the next one I'll be adding now is the lemon, the zest of the lemon.
Wow.
So I'll be using our wonderful Salad Master food processor.
Guys, you know what I say about this food processor? Your kitchen is not complete when this food processor is not in your kitchen. So all you need to do is ask, you know, the person that's brought you on this call, how do I get this machine to make sure my kitchen is complete? It comes in 5 different cones. You know, and it gives you about 250 different shapes and sizes, depending on how creative you are. So we're going to be using our cone 1, which is the shredder.
Cone 1, which is the shredder. So I'm using this to shred the lemon zest.
That's why I can authoritatively tell you that the zest of this lemon can help you fight prostate cancer or colon cancer or breast cancer. And apart from that, it gives it this, you know, thingy aroma that I like so much. I could feel it.
I'm also the lemon. I'm also going to add the lemon juice. Not much.
Okay, just a little. You know, so you just guess. Can you see that? Can you see that? Just sprinkle, just drizzle it. Swish it together. Oh my God. Oh my God, guys. Can you see that? This is super amazing. I feel like having the Greek yogurt chocolate cake already because I love the feel. Can you see the texture?
Wow.
Wow, this is ready.
It's ready. Okay, so the next one now is to bake this wonderful cake inside this 3 quarts Salad Master healthy system called the 3 quarts.
But you mean with Salad Master healthy cooking system, we can actually bake with this?
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting. We're putting a little bit of the blend flour underneath it. Just, you know, having to realize that we can bake with our Salad Master healthy cooking system. This is intriguing. This is amazing. This is fabulous. This is awesome. Thank you so much, Salad Master, for actually making this possible.
So the next one now, I'll be adding the coconut flakes and the granules for the toppings. You can add the chocolates or raisins or cashew nuts, depending on the nut you want to add there.
Coconut flakes, which is good, which is healthy.
So I'm going to be baking this on low heat.
So we're going to be baking on low heat. Guys, remember we say medium click low. Medium click low. We don't cook with high heat with our healthy cooking system. For those that are joining us on YouTube, please don't hesitate to subscribe and also share to your family and friends so they can actually learn more healthy ways, more healthy alternatives. So you get to eat what you love to eat. Salad Master has made this possible to make sure that we can actually help to manage, prevent, and reverse lifestyle diseases that are really on the increase today, like obesity, like cancer, like diabetes, and a whole lot. Yes, please. Yes, please. I love our chocolate Greek. Chocolate yogurt.
Let's see how it's coming up. Ooh,
wow. Guys, can you see that? Can you see that? This is amazing.
Amazing.
Jessica, you know what I learned? That when you are baking normally, you don't open. They say because when you open, the cake will fall.
It will fall, it will shrink.
It will shrink. But guess what? We are baking with our healthy cooking system. And it's coming out very fine. Can you see the coconut flakes?
Yes, and the granite flakes. So this will be ready in less than 2 minutes. All the food should be ready.
Wow, wow, wow. This is amazing, guys. This is amazing.
Hello, you're welcome to our YouTube channel again. Today I'm going to be making omelette veggies with our electric skillets. I'm going to be using 4 eggs and some vegetables to make these omelette veggies. It's very simple. You can make your plain omelette whichever you want, it's still okay. But I'm going to be making omelette veggies. Thank you. Okay, now before we start, we have to preheat the electric skillets. We have to preheat the electric skillets at 130. Okay, that is 130, and I'm going to be frying the omelette for 12 minutes. I'm going to use the timer, but that is after I preheated the electric skillet. And I'll be using 4 eggs. Okay. 4 eggs. Always ensure that you wash your eggs before breaking them because you don't know where they come from. Second, so you can see the egg, 2 yolks. This is 4 eggs. Then I'll be adding some sea salt. It's optional. I'll be using the smallest of the measuring spoon to measure my sea salt, and I'll be keeping it labeled. Okay, labeled. So I'm going to whisk it with my egg whisker. Okay, now the electric skillet is already preheated for just 3 minutes. Okay, this is the electric skillet. We call this the good boy. So I'm going to be using coconut oil to grease the electric skillets. Just a little to grease the skillets. So 130, but I'm going to use my timer. I'm going to set it for 12 minutes. I've set the timer for 12 minutes. Okay. Now I can pour in my whisked egg inside the electric skillet. So once you whisk in your egg, you can gently pour in your vegetables. It's optional. You can decide not to use the vegetable, but what I'm making today is omelette veggies. So you can add any vegetables of your choice depending on what you want to use. So here the vegetable that I use is some diced carrots, some spring onions, green pepper and yellow pepper, and also some fresh scotch bonnets. Wow, this is looking lovely. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to cover this and allow this to cook for 12 minutes. I've already set the timer. Okay, it's already 11 minutes. Okay, now let's check our omelette veggies. Omelette veggies ready. This is almost 12 minutes. Okay, and let's look at the timer. It's almost 1 minute to go. Okay. Wow. 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 This is amazing. Omelette veggies right with the electric skillet. Wow. 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 This looks amazing. It's ready. Wow, so our vegetable omelette is ready to eat. You can see. Fried with the electric skillets just by greasing your pan. So for the baked donuts, I'll be using a bread flour for the baked flour. Then I'll be using dry yeast. Then here I'll be using cinnamon, just a little. I love the flavor. I'll be using cinnamon.
Oh wow, interesting.
Then I'll be using honey. Yeah, I'll be using honey. Yeah. Honey instead of sugar. Then here is my coconut milk.
Yo, interesting. Lovely.
Then I'll be using sea salt too, just a little. Then I have my nutmeg.
Oh.
Yeah, nutmeg. Then I'll be using this orange juice and the lime juice to mix with the honey, just to drizzle or to drizzle the honey on top of the donuts.
Okay.
Instead of sprinkled white sugar.
White sugar,
so
exactly.
I prefer to use honey then to drizzle the whole thing. So these are all the recipes for the donuts, baked donuts. So first thing, this is the bread flour that I'll be using.
Yeah.
First, I have to add the dry ingredients first. The dry ingredients, the cinnamon, the nutmeg, and the dry yeast.
Okay. Cinnamon, nutmeg, and dry yeast. So we're gonna add it in there.
Okay.
So we're using bread flour. Bread flour.
Okay. So I'll be adding the cinnamon.
Pinch of cinnamon, which is actually good, very, very healthy. Lots of antioxidants and helps with insulin sensitivity. And we're using sea salt. So for what quantity of bread flour?
It's just 2 cups of flour.
Okay.
2 cups of flour. That is equal to milk cup.
Milk cup.
Yeah.
Okay.
A cup of this is equal to milk cup.
Okay.
Yeah, so 5 of it is equal to 1 derica.
1 derica. Okay.
So 2 of it is equal to 2 milk cups.
Okay.
Alright.
Okay. So you can see that 2 cups we have there, and a pinch for cinnamon, and also a pinch for sea salt. Sea salt is very healthy. It's not gone through any form of process, all natural, unlike the regular table salt. And the bread flour is actually very, very nutritious as well. So we are using a nutmeg.
Yes, I'm using the nutmeg. I'm just going
Which
to
is actually very healthy. So it helps to boost the immune system as well. Exactly. So it's actually very healthy and it's good source of protein.
Then the next one I want to quickly mix the what's it called now? The dry yeast.
Dry yeast together. Okay. So we mix it separately.
Then mix it
Okay, so what quantity are we mixing together? A teaspoon level. So we have a teaspoon level
So you
of
have
dry
to mix
yeast.
it with warm water.
Okay, so we mix it with warm water. Okay, fantastic. So by the way guys, yeast is actually very good. They are a good source of healthy bacteria for the gut.
I have to mix all these dry ingredients, the cinnamon and the nutmeg, the sea salt, the sugar all combined
Together, wow, fantastic. Okay, fantastic. So you have everything, all the dry ingredients together. Wow, fantastic. What quantity of onion are we using?
Depending on the sweet, how you want your donut to be sweet.
Okay, fantastic. So we have about a tablespoon. We have a tablespoon of
Having
onion.
a tablespoon.
Okay, so we're having a tablespoon of honey in our mixed dried yeast. So we're adding it there. So the reason why Chef Jessica actually chose honey is because it has lots of other amazing health benefits.
I have to mix all this, just gradually add it.
Okay, so now we are mixing the wet ingredients and the dry ingredients together. Just gradually. Amazing. Okay, so we have our coconut milk there. So the reason why we have actually chosen to use our coconut milk is because it's very healthy. We have the good cholesterol and we have the bad cholesterol. So sometimes when we get cholesterol, we are feeling like, oh my god, I don't need cholesterol, it's very bad. We have the good one, which is the HDL, high density lipoprotein. And then we have the bad cholesterol. So the more of the good cholesterol we have in our system, the lesser the bad cholesterol we have in our system. So that's the reason why we have actually chosen coconut milk. You could also choose variants of either almond milk or tiger nut milk as possible for your consumption. Okay, so you can see. So basically, what we're doing now is that we're mixing the dough together.
You have to knead this.
You have to do what?
Knead it.
Oh, we have to knead it.
Yeah.
Wow,
So
interesting.
for just that bread, you need to knead more.
Okay, okay. So the bread will need more kneading. Wow, guys, can you see that? Wow, wow. So basically what we're doing now is we're kneading the dough. Wow.
So now, once you knead it and all the surface comes out clean, not sticking anymore, then you know that it's well combined and well mixed. You can see.
So the surface combined, it comes out, is neat. So guys, can you see that? And it's not sticky. And it's not sticky.
And it's fluffy. Okay. So you have to leave this in one place to rise.
Okay. So the idea now is to leave it in one place to rise. So we can see that. Okay. So we can just keep that in one place to rise. And I think we have the one that has risen already. Okay. Okay. Wow!
So this is the donut that is made already. So I need to quickly do this. Then we baked it in the electric skillet.
The amount of calories. A lot of people are complaining about calorie. You know, I need to shed weight, I need to burn weight, I need to lose weight. But guess what? The way we do it for you this time around, you get to lose weight easily because you have reduced the actual intake of calories you are putting in your system.
So I'm just going to cut out, then put it in the electric skillet to rise the second time, then bake it.
Oh, so we are going to cut out our donuts now and put it in the electric skillet to rise. Wow, fantastic. Guys, can you see that? Wow, wow, wow. This is amazing. This is amazing. So I'm going to put it in the electric skillet as well to rise. Okay, guys, can you see our donut is going in there gradually? Wow, wow, wow. This is amazing. I'm super excited, guys. Can you see our donut is coming through? Okay, so we are cutting our donut and we are going to let it rise. Wow. But to realize that we can achieve the same purpose without oil is super amazing. Super amazing. So we're going to fix it the cutter. Okay. Wow, guys, can you see that? Wow, wow, wow. So Jessica, you are just performing miracles here. Wow. Guys, this is amazing. You need to actually watch out for this, practice this. This is how you get your donuts. Oh my God, can you see that? Wow. That's amazing. So we have some healthy donuts going on through there. So at what temperature are we going to be?
I'm going to be baking this at 100.
Oh, we are baking this at 100 degrees. Okay. That's because we're baking. Wow. Guys, can you see our donuts coming through? Interesting. So at 100 degrees.
Cover this and allow it to rise the second time before I start baking.
Okay. So at no temperature, there's no temperature yet? Okay.
Because the electric skillet is too warm.
It's still warm, so we allow it to rise before we start baking. Okay, fantastic, guys. Wow. Okay, so we're baking it at the temperature of 100 degrees.
Yeah.
Guys, can you see the electric skillet? Now, this is the super amazing, powerful electric skillet.
The baked donut.
Guys, so let's check out baked donut. Wow.
Okay, the baked donut is ready.
This is amazing. Guys, can you see that? It comes out very nice. Wow. We have our baked donut, no single drop of oil. Very, very good.
So